What's up, everyone? Arctic here, and today is Thursday. It is 8 a.m. You guys know what that means. Motivational morning. And today I'm talking about being driven. It's kind of a mix between that and work ethic, but you guys are going to hear a personal story about a prominent figure in my life, my mother, and some of the things that she tried to instill in us. When I say us, it's my brother and I as young men growing up. So for those of you that don't know, I grew up in a single parent household, and I think my parents got separated when I was about 9 years old, 10 years old, divorced, separated. And we moved about 40-ish minutes away from my hometown where I grew up. And I vividly remember one of the things my mom would used to say to my brother and me was that she was a woman, and as a woman, she could obviously never be a man. So the things that we had to learn as men, she couldn't do, but she would try her very best. And one of the things that she used to constantly talk about was work ethic. Another one being providing for your family, being there for your family. But work ethic was one that I've talked about several times on my channel already, but it's one that has probably been the biggest factor that I saw firsthand from her and was able to, and still to this day, think about and apply to my life. So, I mentioned that, a single parent household. She would work sometimes 2 or 3 jobs to make sure that she could either provide for, my brother and me, or to, get us some extra stuff that she felt necessary for Christmas or birthdays or holidays. And she wanted to make it feel like we could ask her for something and she could get it for us. And, we've had some conversations, recently, in the past about some of the things that she would do. And, we look back at that time period, and every time I talk to her about it, I am always blown away by some of the stuff that she would do. So here's a routine for my mom. We get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 for school. We rode the bus. There's a couple times where my mom would take my brother to school, but for the most part, we rode the bus. Mom would make us breakfast. We get on the bus. We go to school. My mom works her 9 to 5. She comes back. If we're in practice in season, if I'm playing basketball or running track or football, she's picking me up after she gets off from work. Then we come home. She picks up my brother, whatever, and she makes us dinner. And then a couple hours later, she goes to her second job. After she gets home from her second job, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. She goes to sleep, wakes up off at 6 o'clock in the morning, off of 3 hours of sleep, and we do that all over again. All right, so she does that during the week. And then on the weekends, she was working a third job at some points in time. So, when I think about what she did, I mean, that absolutely sounds crazy to me. And I know families have done this in the past, working 2, 3 jobs to provide for their family. But when I think about the things that she did and how she just showed it, she would talk about it, but then she would also put that into action. She would put her money where her mouth was, walk the walk. And so I think about that now, and I'm absolutely blown away. And one of the things that she used to say to us, particularly in sports, was let your opposition be your motivation. And I think, she was driven by, obviously reasons to provide for her family, but her will to succeed, that drive that she had to make sure that we had what we wanted to provide for her family, was so great that you could literally not tell her that she couldn't do something because she would do it. You know what I mean? She just would not let you tell her you couldn't do something. And that has kind of happened to me. I've seen it firsthand. I've had people tell me, you can't do this. You don't have the skill set for this. No, that's not the right choice for you. And, every time I've had that happen or someone tell me that, it has almost driven me to like this blind fury state where I am more motivated than I was prior to telling them about this idea or that I wanted to do this than before. And it's really been something that has probably come from my mom. I think probably because, again, some of the things that I witnessed her do and some of the things that she would kind of say that kind of creeps up in my mind, thinking about. But if you are out there, and I've had some people now talk to me about these motivational stuff, send me inboxes saying that they really enjoy this and that I'm helping for them. But you cannot and you should not let someone else tell you that you can't pursue your goals, because I have witnessed it firsthand of someone that is more driven to do what's almost a necessity, but to provide for their family, and do things that just don't seem physically possible. Getting 3 hours of sleep for 6 months straight, 9 months straight, 2 hours of sleep sometimes, 1 hour of sleep sometimes, not missing a sports game. My mom didn't miss a basketball game, football game, track meet. She did not miss anything. And she would do all of these things. So you cannot let people tell you that you can't do something, because you have the potential to do anything you set your mind to. And I know this firsthand because I've seen it in my life. So you really have to assess what is possible for yourself and then just go after it. You really do. You really have to just go after it. So again, I wanted to, I guess, this big shout out to my mom, this episode, but I wanted to tell you guys that story of some of the things that I've witnessed. And so you can kind of get a mental picture of, man, that's what he kind of grew up. That's the household that he had. That's the lifestyle that he had. That's the person in his life where, okay, I get what he's talking about, because he had to go through the struggle. And it wasn't even me. My mom didn't make sure I had to struggle. She was the one doing it. She was putting herself at, not getting any sleep deprivation and things of that nature, just so she could show us what it was like to have work ethic, what it was like to provide for your family. So I hope you guys are a little bit more pumped up than you were, and driven to finish out this day, do what you need to do to get to your goals. And until the next time, I will catch you guys later. Peace.